Today I'm going to go over a while loop, and a while loop is a loop that runs while a condition is true, whereas a for loop runs through a range of values or items. So while loops are good when you don't have a specific number of iterations to loop through. Let's make a little program using a while loop that allows users to guess animals in a list called zoo and continues until the user types exit. Let's start off by making a list, and we'll call this zoo. The list will have animals, open and close curly bracket, and I'm going to put simple animals in there. I'll say cat, dog, and turtle, cow, and pig. It's a low budget zoo. Right now, we're going to need a variable for the response that the user enters to guess what animals are in our zoo. So I'll say response equals, I'll initialize it to the empty string. All right, and then what else should we do? We'll keep track of how many right answers the user has. We'll initialize it to 0. We'll keep track of how many wrong answers the user has, make that 0, and let's start our while loop down here. We'll say while response does not equal exit. There we go. And then put a colon right here to designate the code block, just like we did in if statements and for loops. Then I'm going to make a print statement. I'm going to print enter an animal you think is in the zoo. And now we have to capture the response. I'll say response equals, let's use our input, and I want to make everything lowercase because when we're doing searching through lists, case sensitivity is a thing. So everything's lowercase here. Let's make our response lowercase by doing a dot lower on the input. And then let's do an if statement, and this is probably the coolest thing in Python. If we say if response in zoo, so whatever string is in response, we're going to go through all the elements of our zoo. If it's in there, if we put cow or something, oh, cow, we're going to get a true. So this will be true. I think that's really handy. Let's say if we get a response that's true, we'll give a message like, wow, we have a open and close curly bracket. Let's do our format, and then we'll just put response in there. All right, let's make right plus equal to 1. So we added 1 to the right. Now, if it's not in the zoo, it could be exit, right? So we want to make sure that it's not in the zoo and not exit to count a wrong response. I'm going to do elif here and then get my response. And as long as it's not equal to exit right here, I know it's not in the zoo because we failed this condition. If we fail this one too, it's a wrong response. Maybe they put giraffe in or something like that. So I'll say print, nope, not a open and close curly bracket in the zoo. And let's go ahead and put our format for the response for whatever we got. Right, so it'll show up right there. And then we'll go ahead and give them increment our wrong score. All right, so, and then of course, the other condition that we're not testing for is response being exit, actually being exit. So if this fails, it must be exit. Let's bump up here. Look at that. If it is exit, we're gonna break the while loop. We're gonna get down here. We're gonna do a print, and we'll give status of our little quiz. We'll say you guessed open and close curly bracket correctly and open and close curly bracket incorrectly. We'll do the format. There we go. We're going to get the right here. And we'll get the wrong right there. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Hit the play or the run. Enter an animal you think is in the zoo. Well, I probably think a tiger is in the zoo. Nope, not a tiger in the zoo. Let's say a cat, make it a little more general. Wow, we have a cat, right? I know we could do like dog. Wow, we have a dog. Let's exit because this is boring. So I'll say exit. Look at that. You guessed 2 correctly and 1 incorrectly. So that's a while loop. Let's take a quick look at the while loop before we leave. Right here, this code. So let's put a space in between the while loop and the print statement. That's outside of the loop. So this thing just keeps on looping while response is not equal to exit. All right, I will see you in the next video.